Hi everyone, and welcome to our GL Assessment homework review video. This is going to be for year 5, and this is going to review week 3's homework, and we're going to be focusing on verbal reasoning. And the first page that we need to look at is page 28, and this is all about related words. Some of you will more commonly know this question type as odd to out. We obviously did some of these during our lesson this week in week 3, but you've had another go hopefully for your homework. So this is a great way not only to build up your vocabulary, but to practice a very popular verbal reasoning question type. So hopefully you found the page 28, and we're looking at test 24. So first of all, if you have a little look at what I've underlined, I've obviously underlined the two words that are the odd ones out. Now what's really important here is to understand why the other three words actually go together. And I've got a couple of pictures, and I'll have pictures all the way through the video just to highlight a few things. Sometimes an image can be easier to describe than just having the word on the page. But first of all, a trident. Well, a trident is another word for it's a bit like a weapon, and a trident has 3 prongs at the top, and you may have well seen a trident before. So trident, dagger, and an axe all go together because they are all weapons, whereas terminate and arm are actually the odd ones out. Question 2, we've got sow, boar, mare, vixen and ram. Now the important thing here is to understand why 3 go together. Well, if we were to put sow, mare and vixen together, they are all female animals. So a sow is a female pig, a mare is a female horse, and a vixen is a female fox. And a boar and a ram are the male animals. So those would be the odd 2 out. Now down the bottom here, I've actually given you a website which might be worth having a little look at, maybe to learn some of the animals young. Often these questions do crop up in the 11 plus, and it might be worth just having a look through that website, listing some of them down and just trying to learn them. They've also got pictures of animals on that website as well, so that will really help you and hopefully help some of those animals young stick to you as well. There are lots of animals young, of course, that share the same name. So if we think of calf, you can have an elephant, you can have a giraffe, you can have a cow. They all have calves. But it's certainly worth learning not only the animals young, but also the male and female of those animals as well. Let's have a look at question 3. We've got esteemed, respectable and revered. They all go together. So I'm just going to circle all of those. And the reason they all go together is because they're synonyms for respected. So hopefully you've been able to put those together. And good and obscure become the odd ones out. Question 4, we've got gleeful, merry and jovial. They all go together because they all mean to be synonyms for joyful, or happy. So I'm just going to put joyful there if you are writing jovial into your word and meaning book. And then fairground and ride become the odd ones out. The next question, question 5, we've got spatula, kitchen, whisk, pot and ladle. Just giving you a picture of a ladle. I'm sure you can find one possibly in your kitchens, often used for sort of scooping out soup and things, but a ladle. So if you didn't know what a ladle was. And a spatula is another item or utensil that you would often use in the kitchen. So spatula, whisk and ladle, whereas kitchen and pot are the odd ones out. So we would group those 3 together because they're all utensils, and then pot and kitchen are the odd ones out. Let's have a look at the next 5. We've got sovereign, helmsman, chief and subordinate and steward. So just looking along there, what we would do is we would put sovereign, helmsman and chief together because they are all people in charge. A subordinate is like a lower ranking, and then we've also got a steward. So a steward might be someone who might be a steward for a race or a running race or something, but they're not in charge, the steward or the subordinate. 7, we've got fennel, hydrangea, lily, peony and mango. Hydrangea, I've actually got a picture of a hydrangea down here, is a plant, flower, very pretty flower. Lily's a flower, and a peony is a flower as well. So mango and fennel. Fennel is like a vegetable. You've got a picture of a fennel down there. You might have eaten fennel before. So again, we would put fennel and mango as the odd ones out. Question 8, we've got enterprising, resourceful and ingenious. That's kind of being inventive, being clever, just giving you a definition there. And then hospitable and genial, they would be the odd ones out. So it's quite nice to know some of those words, even if they may not be the answer, still worth knowing what those words actually mean. Question 9, we've got a snapper, herring, tortoise, pike and turtle. Well, a snapper and a herring and a pike are all types of fish, whereas a tortoise and a turtle, those would be the odd ones out. Question 10, last one on this first section. You've got segment, cheese, fragment, chunk and piece. Well, of course, a segment and a fragment and a chunk are all a piece. And they've tried to catch you out a little bit because, of course, we've got a homophone here. If you think of how we would spell piece of cake, that would be the piece. So that would have been okay to go with chunk, fragment and segment. But this is piece as in peace and quiet. So we've got cheese and piece. Well done if you managed to get 10 out of 10 there. Those were quite tricky, but hopefully you've learnt lots of new words by doing that section. Let's have a look at the next section that you've got on page 29, and this is called Complete the Sum. And these are balanced equations. We did some of these during the lesson, so I'm going to reveal to you what the answers are, just talk you through each one in turn. So we've got number 1, 140 divided by 10, which gives you 14, times by 2, gives you 28. So it's really important we make 28 on this side, and of course if you add 11 and 17 together, we also get 28. So we know that that's correct because we've got a balanced equation. So the same on both sides. 19 times 2 is 38. I'm going to take 2 away to give me 36. So I must make 36 on this side. And of course, 6 times 6 makes 36. So the answer is 6. I sometimes think with these as well, it's so important we know our times tables. If we don't know our times tables, we're going to really struggle. If you didn't know how to do 19 times 2, you could have done 20 times 2 is 40 and then take 2 away. So try and use little shortcuts if you can. 121 divided by 11 is 11. I'd like to think most of you know that 11 multiplied by 11 is 121. So we're going to get 11, then we're going to add 5. So we've got 16 on one side. 2 times 2, of course, is 4. And then 4 multiplied by 4 gives me 16. So that sum works, and it's now balanced. The jottings underneath are really important because it keeps a track of what you've got. Now, we must observe BODMAS here. So we are actually going to do the brackets first. So 2 times 7 is 14. 3 times 15 is 45, and then 45 take away 14 is going to give me 31. So I must make 31 over here. 9 times 3 is 27. Then we're going to add 4 to give me 31. Question 5. 5 times 8 is 40, divided by 2 is 20. Add 4 gives me 24. How do I make 24 on this side? Well, I'm going to do 4 times 6. So what you can do as you're going down through is obviously give them a tick if you've got them correct. Let's have a look at question 7. 18 divided by 2 is 9. Add 1 is 10. So I must make 10 on this side. 60 divided by 5 is going to give me 12. Take away 2. And of course that's going to make 10. So 60 divided by 5. Now if that was one that you couldn't do, what you could do is do a little bus stop method. If you're dividing 60 by 5, so 5 into 6 goes 1. Remainder 1. 5 into 10 goes 2. But that will be a good fact certainly to learn. 7 times 5 is 35. Take away 17 gives me 18 on this side. How do I make 18 on this side? Well, 6 times 3 makes 18. Number 9. 9 times 9, which you all know is 81. Again, if you weren't sure about 9 nines, you could do 10 nines are 90 and then take 9 away. But 81 then take away 9 gives me 72. Take away 17 gives me 55. So I need to make 55 on this side. And of course, 11 times 5. Brilliant if you got that one right. And the last one, 45 divided by 5 is 9. Add 6 is 15. How do we make 15 on this side? 22 take away 7 is also 15. Well done if you got that one right. Now have a look at test 26. This is on page 30 and it is synonyms. So we're looking for two words that mean the same. I've got a few pictures here. Tempestuous is, if you're tempestuous, it's stormy. So that's what that relates to. But let's have a look at the first one first. We've got condemn and blame. So those are synonyms. Absurd and ridiculous. When it's silly, it's absurd. And serene and placid. Now, tempestuous wasn't actually the answer, but if you're tempestuous, then it's stormy. So I thought that was quite a nice illustration to kind of show you that. But serene and placid, that means calm. Question 4, we've got futile and fruitless. So well done if you got that one right. If it's futile, then there's no point doing it. You can't. It's fruitless. How often you try, it won't make any difference. It's futile. And then we've got attentive and vigilant. Vigilant, another good synonym for that. And again, if you're putting it in your word and meaning book, is to be watchful, to be vigilant. Okay. So hopefully, if there were any new words within the questions as well that you didn't know, so embarrass, humiliate, any of those words you didn't quite know the meanings of, obviously put them in your word and meaning book. Certainly, embarrass is a good word to know, not necessarily because of the meaning. I'm sure you know what embarrass means, but also because of the spelling. So I always think of the two R's being embarrassed by the two S's because that's how people can get confused with that word. Let's have a look on the next ones. Calamity and disaster. It's a calamity, it's a disaster, it's not gone very well. Imitate and mimic. So another sort of synonym, of course, for that would be copy. So that's the answer there. A foe, an adversary. Feign and pretend. If you feign injury, you sort of pretend that you've hurt yourself when you haven't really. And then we've got cease and halt. You might say that if you're riding a horse, you might say halt and then cease. So it kind of means stop. Not to be confused with seize, but cease. Well done if you got that one correct. So those are the 10 questions. Again, I'll certainly pause it because if there's any words you want to take out of here, like accomplice or interrogate, any of those words you didn't know, put them in your word and meaning book. I've just got an illustration there of a tornado just to show you what a tornado would look like. Now, test 44 is related words again, so these are more odd ones out. So let's have a quick look at these. Crops, farming, drought, famine, and poverty. So if we circle those all mean the same. So to be very hungry or drought can certainly mean if you've not got very much water. So drought, famine, and poverty go together, whereas crops and farming would be the odd ones out. Then we've got question 2. We've got salsa, nachos, Bali, Mexico, and samba. Now, with that, those 3 that I'm going to circle, and I've actually got a picture of a salsa dancer over here. They are all types of dances, whereas nachos and Mexico, of course, are not dances. So, just a picture there of some salsa dancers there. Okay. Question 3, frivolous, superficial, and whimsical all mean the same, to be sort of jokey, playful, whereas lofty and explosive, those would be the lofty being tall. I always think of lofts being high up, so tall is a synonym for that word. But those are the odd 2 out. Then we've got beech, forest, fir, rosemary, and oak. Well, of course, beech, fir, and oak go together because they're all types of tree. Question 5, we've got uniform, monotonous, and consistent. They go together, whereas elegant and clothing would be the odd ones out. Monotonous means to be bored, and there's a picture of someone not particularly enthused. I hope you're more enthused about going through your homework than he is. Okay, let's have a look at the next odd ones out. Fuchsia, rose, fish, coral, and reef. A fuchsia and a rose and a coral, they're all classified as shades of pink. So if I just show you here as well, this is a fuchsia plant here, and as you can see, the fuchsia is a pink colour. So that means that the odd two out were fish and reef. Question 7, we've got endorse, reprimand, criticise and reproach. Reprimand being to sort of tell off. So if you think of or blaming someone, if you criticise or reproach them, you blame them. So those three go together. And endorse, which we have had a few times already during this block, endorse means to support and salute. So those two are the odd ones out. Cower, flinch, quail all go together. And they're all words for conveying displays of fear. So if you cower or you flinch. And then we've got bird and chicken are the odd ones out. Bay, cove, a vagrant is like a beggar, and pirate. So those three go together, the bay, the cove and the gulf. And the best way to describe those is because they are synonyms for the word bay. I know we've got bay there, but there's not really many other words I could use. But a cove, a bay and a gulf are the same. And then a vagrant and a pirate are the odd ones out. And then we've got assail, attack and assault. They would all go together because they are synonyms for attack, whereas cover and die are the odd ones out. So I hope you all got those ones correctly done. Let's have a look at the next complete the sum, and this is on page 50. So this is test 45. So make sure that you found test 45 and you're on page 50, and then you'll be able to mark these. So number 1, got 125 divided by 25, which is 5. Multiplied by 10 is 50, so I must make 50 on this side. And if I do 120, take away 70, I also get 50. Question 2, 48 divided by 8 is 6. Multiplied by 5 is 30, so I must make 30 on this side. And then if we do 5 times 7, we get 35. Take 5 away, we are going to make 30. Question 3, 12 times 7 is 84. Take away 42, gives me 42, so I need 42 on this side. 6 times 11 is 66. And if I take away 24, I get 42. So it might have been, hopefully you would have been able to do that in your head, but if not, you could have easily done a little column method here and then done 6 take away 4 is 2, and then 6 take away 2 is 4, so you've got 42. And then we've got question 4, 58 add 8, 66, take away 51 gives me 15, and then 90 divided by 6 is also 15, and that may well be a case of doing the inverse. So if you'd done 6 times 15, hopefully you would have all known that that would have given you 90. Question 5, again all about your times tables, this one. We do the brackets first, 3 times 4 is 12. 8 times 6 is 48, add them together to get 60. 7 times 7 is 49, and then 49 add 11, of course, is going to give you 60 on that side. So again, times tables are so important. 12 times 12, 144. Halve it to give you 72. Add 13 to get me 85. Now, what you again could do is you could do 85 rather than, we've got times here, we can change that into a divide. So we can do 5s into 8 goes once, remainder 3, and that gives me 17. So 5s into 35 is 7. Question 7, 16 add 19 is 35. 4 times, so we must make 35 on this side. 4 times 12 is 48. What do I take away from 48 to make 35? Well, it would be 13. So if I take 13 away, then I get 35. And a good way of checking, if I add 13 to 35, I should get back to 48 again, which of course you do. 12 times 9 is 108. Take away 10 is 98. And then I need to make 98 on this side. So again, we could do the inverse. So we could take 43 away from 98 to get our answer. So we would get 55. 45 add 12 is 57. Take away 21 is 36. So I must make 36 on this side. I've already got 29. So I could take that away if I wanted to, count up, and you know you'd get 7. The last one, 8 times 7 is 56. Add 16 is 72. So I must make 72 on this side. So 9 times 8. And as I need to reiterate, I think knowing your times tables here is so important. But well done if you manage to get all 10 of those correct. Just ticking them off for you now so you can see how to mark them, and then just put a nice 10 at the bottom if you got all of them right. If you didn't, don't worry, but maybe just checking that you know your times tables. And the last section in this homework video is going to look at another synonym section, and this is going to be on page 51. So let's have a little look at what we've got here. A blunder and an error. So if you make a blunder, you make a mistake. So again, if you didn't know what a blunder was, maybe put that in your word and meaning book under B. Then we've got eminent and distinguished. So I've also just looking in those particular questions at any words you don't know. So if you didn't know what detrimental meant or downcast, then obviously look those words up and make sure you know their definitions. But be distinguished. Often you can have a distinguished guest, so an eminent guest. Question 3, frigid and chilly, both meaning cold. 4, we've got slope, ranch, dwelling, famine, residence and bank. Dwelling and a residence are the same. I've also just put in a picture there of a ranch. A ranch is more like a farm, and it's somewhere where you might raise cows or possibly horses. They often have ranches in America, whereas I think we more commonly know them as farms in this country. Number 5, being diligent and industrious, so sort of working hard. Those two words are synonyms. And let's have a look at question 6. We've got lenient and merciful. When you're lenient, you're not strict. So you're not strict. Show leniency. Question 7, got maim and injure, so that kind of means to hurt. If you maim someone, you might hurt them. 8, remote and isolated, so sort of being on its own, if something's remote or it's isolated. And then we've got number 9, belligerent and aggressive, those are synonyms. And then question 10, malady and ailment, so having an injury. I've also put cultivate, because cultivate I'm pretty sure was one of the words here. Here's the word cultivate, just showing you what that means, obviously to grow or dig, to cultivate the land. And earnest, grave and solemn, again may have been a new word. I've just put a link down the bottom, which is a very good website which gives a lot of vocabulary support. So there's lots of lists of words. If you do want to have a look at that, you're more than welcome. But certainly I think within your books you've got lots of words now that you can learn. If there's other words within that page that you didn't know the meanings of, like apprehensive or unorthodox, then please do look them up and make sure that you know what they mean. Thank you very much for watching this homework review video for GL assessment. It was for Block 5, Year 5, and it was for Week 3. The 2 reference videos are here, so if you do want to have a look at the Animals Young or the vocabulary one, then please feel free. But thank you very much for watching, and I hope it helped you mark your homework. Well done. Thanks. Bye.